In this video we're going to have a look at adding a first-person controller to MC Terrain. I've started a new project and I've imported MC Terrain, and the first thing I'm going to do is just go up to the MC Terrain menu and add the tags that are required for the project to run, and then we're going to head over to the asset store to find the starter assets first-person controller. Right, we're in the asset store, we're searching for starter assets, and here starter assets first-person controller. We're going to add that to our assets and then head back to Unity and import it into the project. Okay, back in Unity, we'll open our package manager window and we'll have a look at the assets that we've got and find the first person controller we've just added. So I've got the first person character controller highlighted here, so we're going to import it into our project. Now, the thing to remember is that this uses the input system and the Cinemachine packages, so when we import it, it will import those first, and then once it's done that, it will restart the editor and then import the actual first person controller asset. So we click import, and there we go, we have to do install upgrade to install the new input system and the Cinemachine packages. So we'll do that first, and then once they've installed, then it will restart and then we can continue. Right, now it's asking us if we want to restart, so we click yes, and then we'll wait for the editor to come back up and then we can continue with our import. Okay, so we're back in Unity again after the editor restart, and we'll click import, and this time we can skip the install upgrade step because it's installed everything that we need. So we'll click skip, and then we can import the actual first person character controller. So that's imported, so we can close the window and we'll have the character controller down here in the starter assets package. There we go. So we're looking for first person controller prefabs. So the first thing we need to do up here is to delete the main camera and the temp player asset. We don't need those. And then we'll pull in the new main camera. We'll pull in the player capsule, and because it's using Cinemachine, we'll pull in the player follow camera. So the player follow camera needs a target to follow that goes in there, so we put in the player camera route into that, and now we just need to check that our items are tagged correctly. So the main camera is tagged as main camera by default, which is what we need, and the player capsule is tagged as player by default, which is what we need. So we'll hit play and we'll see it in action. There we are, now we're in first person mode and we can move and jump and alter the terrain as needed. You'll notice once I start clicking into the window that the mouse pointer is hidden. Now as you develop your game, you'll want to change the mouse pointer to something like a crosshair or so on, but at this stage we don't have anything like that, so it is useful to be able to see the mouse pointer so we can see exactly what part of the terrain we're expecting to raise and lower. So I'll show you now how you can go about having the mouse pointer displayed all the time. So we'll hit escape key to get our mouse back and close that. Now we want to go into input system, into starter assets inputs, and we'll open that file. We'll wait for it to load into Visual Studio, and then we'll scroll to the bottom, and we've got cursor lock mode is set to locked. Now when it's set to locked, it will automatically hide the cursor regardless of the cursor's visibility settings, and that's not what we want to happen. We want to keep it confined, but we don't want to have it invisible. So if we just change it to confined and hit save, then it will keep the cursor confined to the window, but it won't alter the visibility settings, so we'll be able to see the mouse pointer so we'll know exactly what part of the terrain we're trying to click on. So if we head back to Unity now and we can hit play again, we'll be able to see the difference. There, so now we can still move around just as we did before, but when we click in the screen you'll notice that the mouse pointer is still visible, so we can see what part of the terrain we're trying to click on, which makes at this stage it makes things so much easier to control. That's it for this video. Check out the website for other videos on how to set up third-person controllers, how to set up more scenery in the game, trees and rocks, etc., and how to add water into the game.